Hello, friends. Welcome to another Cotopaxi Conversation. Today, actually, I'm talking to myself through a mask, but the reason I'm here in front of the school is because we have this wonderful art exhibition from our middle school students that I would like to share with you just for a few minutes with some images, followed up by an interview with our art teacher, and just a lot of things to discover, the creativity of the students, their spirit, their resilience through all of this. And this is a great example of that, and I hope you enjoy the images, and I hope you have a chance to come by the school and see the creativity, the ingenuity, and the spirit of the Cougars at Academia Cotopaxi. Have a great day. Hello, friends. Well, I went from in front of the school a few minutes ago with a mask to here on Zoom so you can see who's actually talking. And we're here with our art teacher, Miss Rivas, and 3 of her students, and we're going to discuss those wonderful projects that I hope that you all will have a chance to safely go by the school and view. So the 2 questions I'd like to ask each one of you is, 1, what was the inspiration as far as why did you choose the theme? Because these are very powerful themes that you've all decided to do. And the second question is, what inspired you to communicate that theme the way you did? So I'm first going to start with our teacher, because why, I guess the question for you is, what inspired you to, as an educator, to have the students do a project like this?
Well, Mr. Van der Eycken, this is all part of a class called Art and Activism that we teach in middle school, and it's a brand new class that we started this fall. And basically the idea came about with everything that's been happening in the world. How can we, as educators, teach our students and make our students sort of like realize that we have a voice and that we can do something about the issues and problems that we have in this world. And for me, as an art educator, because I'm also the drama teacher here at AC, it was very important to sort of use art as a vehicle to send a message and to cause a greater impact and to cause emotion. And that's when sort of like this idea of bringing art and activism together came about. And hopefully that inspired our students to bring a subject, pick a subject of their choosing, anything that they felt passionate about, and then how can they communicate this to the greater world? And that's sort of what inspired all of the projects.
Okay, well, I'll go, thank you so much. So now going back to those questions for yourself as an artist, as a creative member of society who wants to see change. Elizabeth, why did you choose the topic you chose, the theme, and why did you choose to portray it artistically the way you did?
I chose ocean pollution because I think it's a serious issue that not enough people are aware about. So I wanted to explain and sort of like...
Well, it is.
Yeah.
It's a huge problem. Yeah, if you go to the beach, right? You go to the beach and you see all that plastic and everything, we know how it's affecting it. So why did you choose artistically? How did you portray this and why?
So I decided to be able to code like an interactive game. So there's that element to it. And, I just think it makes it a lot more appealing to this generation.
Yes, well, we all love games, right? Interactive games are very popular. That's a great idea to get your message across. Thank you. Okay, Martin, can you tell us what your theme is and why you chose to portray it the way you did?
So my theme was how the global pandemic affected economics. And I think that's really important because a lot of people in the world right now are suffering economically because most of them have lost jobs. The salary has gone like down, and everything has been going down, and like everything is hard for people to buy stuff right now, and it's really hard to go through for some people. So I think it's really important to point that out, that some people aren't going as some of us are going. So it's really important to like be considerate about like those people and try to help in some way. And yeah.
Such a huge topic, and having empathy for, even if we're not as impacted as others, realize that other people are impacted even more so. And how did you artistically do this?
So I decided to draw 3 three people, and one was eating a whole dollar. The other one was eating half a dollar, and the other one was eating like their fingers because they didn't have money to eat. And I think that represented my topic real well.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And Bjorn, what was your topic that you're inspired to communicate, and how did you communicate it?
Yeah, so I chose homelessness, which I was mainly inspired to do because I came from a place, my home in the Bay Area, where homelessness is a really big issue. So that kind of inspired me to, just make my project about that. And what I did was my partner and I wrote multiple stories, as well as I wrote a poem, and we put them on a website that we had made. Because especially now it's harder to find things, or you can't really go to a museum or just do stuff in person in the same way I used to be able to. So I wanted to make something that was accessible to people all over the world, even outside of AC.
Yeah, thank you. And to put it in perspective, when you tie that together with Martin's project, when we're told we have to stay home during the COVID and protect ourselves, imagine being somebody who doesn't have a home, how much more difficult that is. So we can see how everything is interacted, right? So thank you so much. I want to just conclude with one little thing. I was in a conversation last week with directors from around Latin America. And one of the schools, actually the school up in Atlanta, has a project about World Freedom Day, which is about child labor and modern slavery, and how he feels it's so important for the students, for us to realize there still are other problems in the world other than COVID. And I made a comment based on, there's an old saying, I used to have no shoes until I met a man or a woman with no feet. The fact is that there are always, we need to count our blessings. And when we think about in schools, which is the main situation I face right now, you are the lucky ones, even though this is a difficult time, and not to minimize that it's impacting everybody, but we have great teachers, we have internet, we have technology, and you are learning. There are so many students in the world right now who have none of that. There are entire communities that don't have internet. There are entire families and households that don't have the technology we have. And so I think that this is a challenge to you to take advantage of these opportunities. Do your very best for yourself and your family with learning and being focused on your learning, but also, like your projects, realize that there are other people out there who are not as fortunate as we are, and we have an obligation as good members of a society to try to move everybody forward. So I really thank you for your time.